Okay, so in this video, we're going to take a look at how do you factor a trinomial completely, okay? So, and when we say trinomial, usually a trinomial expression looks something like this: ax squared plus bx plus c, where the a, the b, and the c are regular numbers, and then x squared, you'll always find a variable x squared, and then the x, and then no x, okay? So that's what a trinomial looks like. I'll just write the name out here, trinomial, okay? So let's take a look at how to factor this kind of expression completely, okay? So let's consider x squared plus 10x plus 21. Okay, so in order to factor this expression completely, you need to understand what's the a, what's the b, and what's the c. So let's write that down. The a is equal to 1, the b is equal to 10, and the c is equal to 21. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do, step 1, is you want to multiply the a with the c. Okay, so if I multiply the a with the c out here, I get 1 times 21, which gives me 21. Okay, so then step 2 is I want to find factors. So step 2, I want to find any two factors. Well, let's call this, I want to find two factors that multiply to give 21, but add or subtract to give the b term. Okay, so in this case, the b term is 10. Okay, so the best way to do that is just take the 21 and ask yourself, well, what two numbers are going to give me 21? Well, I can think of 21 times 21, right? Sorry. And then I can think of, 3 times 7. So now if I look at the first combination of factors, well, 21 times 1 gives me 21, but I cannot add or subtract these to give me 10, right? If I look at the second combination, 3 and 7, well, I immediately see that I can add the 3 and the 7, which gives me 10. So I can go ahead and use, so this is going to be my choice, the 3 and the 7. So step 3 is going to be to replace the 10x, which is the middle term, by 3x plus 7x, okay, which is the combination of those two terms, putting the x along with them. So let's go ahead and write the expression out. So x squared plus 3x plus 7x plus 21. Now you might be thinking, can I write the 7x first and then the 3x? Yes, you can. Okay, it doesn't matter. So once I have this, now see, this expression becomes an expression where there are four terms, which means I can create pairs and factor by grouping. So group 1 and group 2. So let's go ahead and put them in pairs. Put the first two in parentheses, second two in parentheses, and now if I factor by grouping, I can pull x out as a common factor for the first group, leaving behind x plus 3, and I can pull 7 out as a common factor for the second group, leaving behind x plus 3 again. And now if I'm on the right track, these two should match, which indeed they do. So I can write x plus 3 out here, and then the remaining is going to be x plus 7. And there you have it. That is the complete factorization of the trinomial. All right, so let's try another one. Again, my recommendation would be pause the video and try this one yourself, and then unpause it and check the solution, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and take my step 1, which is going to be 40 times 1. I'll just write it on the side here. 40 times 1 is equal to 40. Now I'm going to take a look at which pairs can make 40. Well, 5 times 8 makes 40, right? And immediately I see that 5 plus 8 gives me 13. But if I do that, I get positive 13, and I need a negative 13. So I'm going to take a negative 5 and a negative 8 to give me negative 13. Okay? So now I'll go ahead and rewrite this expression as y squared minus 5y minus 8y plus 40. Okay? Now I have 4 terms, so I can factor by grouping. Group 1, group 2. So for the first group, sorry, let me go ahead and put the parentheses around them first. So y squared minus 5y. And now for the second one, watch carefully. When I put the parentheses around this, I have to be careful because there's a negative sign right before the 8y. And because of the negative sign, it's going to flip the signs of the terms inside the parentheses. Okay, that's always the case. So I put the negative, I leave the 8y, and then I'm going to flip the positive 40 to a negative 40. Okay, so there you have it. So now I'm going to go ahead and factor things out. So I pull y out of the first parentheses, so y minus 5. And then the second is I pull 8 out, so that leaves me with y minus 5. And as usual, both of these match, indicating we're on the right track. So I'll write y minus 5 first, and then y minus 8 second. Now, sometimes you will see that the y minus 8 is written first, and then the y minus 5 is second. It's the same thing. So this expression is equivalent to y minus 8 times y minus 5. Okay, so it doesn't matter. You can choose to write whichever one you want first. All right, let's take a look at another example. So let's say given r squared minus r minus 56. Pause the video, try it yourself, and then come back and watch the solution. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the 1 times the 56, which gives me 56. Then I'm going to look for factors of 56 that are going to add or subtract to give me negative 1, essentially. So immediately I can think of 7 and 8, right? And if I make the 8 negative and the 7 positive, that's going to give me a net of negative 1, which is going to match the coefficient of the r out here. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to rewrite this expression as r squared plus 7r minus 8r minus 56. Now I'm going to group them. So r squared plus 7r minus, and because of the negative sign, the negative 56 is going to flip to a positive. There you have it, okay? And then I'm going to factor things out, right? So I'm going to factor r out of the first group, so that leaves behind r plus 7. And I'm going to factor 8 out of the second group, so that gives me r plus 7. And because we're on the right track out here, those two match. So I'm left behind with r plus 7 times r minus 8. And there you have it, okay? Okay, next one. Try this one. 3x squared plus 6x plus 6. Pause the video, try it, and then we'll come back and do it. All right, so if you take a look at this one, we're going to take the 3 and the 6, multiply them together to give us 18. Now I'm going to look for factors of 18 that are going to make a positive 6, okay? So let's see what factors are possible. I could have 2 and 9. Well, no combination of 2 and 9 is going to give me positive 6, so that's not possible. How about 18 and 1? Again, that's not possible. 3 and 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. 3 minus 6 is negative 3. Or vice versa, it's going to give me 3. So again, that's not possible. So it's interesting, and I believe those are the only 3 combinations you'll get out of 18, and none of the combinations work. So what do you do when none of the combinations work? For this specific question where it's asking you to factor completely, since none of the combinations work, none of the combinations work, you don't have any option. You cannot go any further, okay? Therefore, we say that the expression is prime. Just like if when you have a prime number, you cannot really factor it anymore. You can have a prime trinomial and you cannot factor it anymore. So here is an example where we encountered a prime trinomial. Okay, well, I hope that helped. Thanks for watching. I will continue in the next video.